John, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me again.
Now, as you well know, and as the whole country knows, we're in the middle of an energy crisis, and we're all trying to figure out ways to make our homes use less electricity and just to try and really bolster the national grid. And thanks to a project that your company is implementing and developing, new residents in Stellenbosch in the Western Cape will use 50% less electricity. Tell us about that. That's extraordinary.
Well, you know, every crisis brings with it a huge number of opportunities. And if it wasn't for the electrical crisis, we would never have looked for an alternative. And the alternative that we're looking at, fortunately in South Africa, is the green alternative. So the crisis itself has resulted in the opportunity. Now, I think the wonderful thing about this is that we're going to rely more and more on renewable energy rather than coal-generated energy, which is fantastic for our environment, and it's very important. Now, the development that we did at Stellenbosch, in consultation with Stellenbosch University and in collaboration with them, is that we pioneered a green way of building, or green alternative to building. In about 2009, 2010, we started looking very strongly at the student accommodation market, and we found that the cost of producing a bed was just simply unaffordable for most of the students in South Africa. So we started casting around for an alternative, something that was of high quality but much more cost effective than the standard bricks and mortar. And you know what they say, that madness is doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting a different result. So we said, well, let's explore around the world and let's find something that's going to be high quality and cost effective. And we came across numerous systems. One of the systems that we selected to develop was lightweight steel framing as a form of innovative building technology. Lo and behold, where we were looking to save money for our students and for our universities and for the government, effectively, we suddenly discovered that what we were looking at was incredibly green at the same time. So we stumbled accidentally while trying to look for something that would save us money, as my generation tends to do. We suddenly started having the same conversation with the modern generation, the millenniums. The millenniums aren't looking at trying to save money. What they're trying to do is save the planet. So suddenly, us older guys were starting to have a conversation with the modern generation of students. Both of us were looking at saving the planet at the end of the day. Our perspective was saving money, theirs is saving the planet. So our conversations overlaps, fortunately. The way that it reduces the use of electricity is that the entire building itself is thermally balanced. The form of building, by coincidence, is actually thermally balanced. And CSIR found that we use 80% less electricity to warm up or cool down the building to ambient temperature. So the entire structure itself is incredibly green and sustainable.
When you tell me that the building is thermally balanced, what does that mean?
It means that the amount of energy that it requires to keep it at the right temperature is far, far less than what you normally use. So if all things were equal, on a hot day, the inside of the building would be cool, and on a cold day, the inside of the building would be warm. And that's what makes it thermally balanced. So ambient temperature that you're looking at is around about 21 degrees. That's nice and comfortable temperature, 21, 22 degrees. And if it's 45 degrees outside, our building tends to stay very close to the thermally balanced figure of around about 22 degrees. Similarly, when it's freezing cold outside, the interior of the building also stays in the vicinity of 22 degrees. So to warm it up or to cool it down to that ambient temperature, it uses a lot less electricity.